In this video, we're going to be doing lesson 18, but we're going to skip around in lesson 18. We're going to start with the classwork, but we're going to skip to number 3, which is on page 259. So turn to page 259. Number 3 says the table shows the number of beats and a given number of minutes for songs A, B, C, and D. So in this lesson, we will be comparing rates by using unit rates. Remember, a unit rate is when you compare two quantities, make a ratio of the two quantities, and get one of the quantities to be 1. Makes it easier for comparisons. So like if we on this table we've got 300 beats for 6 minutes. We've got 600 beats for 5 minutes. 1200 beats for 12 minutes. That's not easy to compare those things, all of those songs, but if we would change it to an equivalent ratio, which would be a rate, which would change, we could change it to a unit rate where one of the quantities is 1. That would make it a whole lot easier to compare. So we're going to make all of these rates on this table be unit rates of beats per minute. So we're going to do beats per minute. Remember, per means for every one. So we need the number of beats for every 1 minute. So when you're doing a unit, when you're making a unit rate, all you have to do is divide the two quantities. But with division, order matters. So you have to make sure that the quantity that you want to be 1 is the divisor. So you're going to set it up, your division problem, like a fraction. And you're going to put the quantity that you want to be 1 in the denominator, because you want the quantity that you want to be 1 to be the divisor, and the divisor is in the denominator. So in this case, we want minute to be 1. Remember, I told you whatever comes behind the word per, that's what you want to be 1, because per means for every 1, and in this case, minute. So we want minute to be 1. So we're going to set it up as a fraction, or division problem as a fraction, and it's going to look like this. Number of beats divided by number of minutes. All right, so song A has 300 beats for every 6 minutes. So we're going to do 300 divided by 6, which is 50. And that's 50 beats per minute. And then song B is 600 beats in 5 minutes, so that's going to be 600 divided by 5, which is 120 beats per minute. And then in song C, we've got 1200 beats in 12 minutes, so that's going to be 1200 divided by 12, which is 100. 100 beats per minute. And then for song D, we've got 560 beats and 7 minutes, so that's going to be 80. 560 divided by 7 is 80. beats per minute. So A said to complete the table by determining the unit rate in beats per minute for each song, and that's what we did. Now B says to order the songs from the slowest tempo to the fastest tempo. Well, the fastest tempo is going to be the ones with more beats per minute. So if we're going from slowest to fastest, the one with least beats per minute is song A. And then next would be song D. And then next would be song C. And then the one with the fastest beats per minute is going to be song B. All right, now we're going to skip to the practice on page 265. Yeah. All right, page 265. That's right here, and we're going to start with number 2. Just going to jump right to number 2. So number 2 says the tables show the number of ounces of blueberries used to make different numbers of muffins at Happy Muffin Shop and Sunny Muffin Shop. Lisa likes muffins with a lot of blueberries. Which muffin shop would you recommend to Lisa? Explain. So you're going to want the muffin shop that has more blueberries per muffin. So we're going to get a unit rate for the, let me just put it, let's see where I have the most room. Yeah, I have a lot of room down here. I'll go down here. Number of ounces, OZ is the abbreviation for ounces, of blueberries, I'll just abbreviate that BB, per muffin. So that's going to be blueberries, the number of ounces of blueberries, over the number of muffins. Because muffin is what you want to be 1 because it comes behind the word per. So that's going to be written like a fraction, number of blueberries over number of muffins. So you're just going to be dividing the number of blueberries by the number of muffins. All right, so for the first shop, which is the Happy Muffin Shop, we're going to do, let's just use the first ratio on the table. 12 ounces of blueberries over 24 muffins. And that's going to be 12 divided by 4, which is 12 24ths, which is 1/2. So the Happy Muffin Shop has 1/2 ounces of blueberries per muffin. So 1/2 ounce of blueberries per muffin. Now for the Sunny Muffin Shop, we're going to do 60, we'll use 60 and 80. So 60 ounces of blueberries over 80 muffins. All right, and that's going to be 60 divided by 80, which is 60/80ths. Now 60/80ths can be scaled down, so let's scale that down. We can divide 60 and 80 by 10 over 10, and that'll give us 6 over 8, because 60 divided by 10 is 6, and 80 divided by 10 is 8. And then we can scale it down even more, and we can take 6/8 and divide it by 2 over 2, which will give us 3 over 4. So the Sunny Muffin Shop has 3/4 blueberries, 3/4 ounces of blueberries per muffin. Which means that if I want to recommend the shop that has more blueberries per muffin, I'm going to recommend the Sunny Muffin Shop, because it has 3/4 ounces of blueberries per muffin, while the Happy Muffin Shop has a 1/2 ounce of blueberries per muffins, and 3/4 is greater than a 1/2. So I'll be recommending Sunny Muffin Shop. This is showing our work, not answering the question. So in your workbook, answer the question in complete sentences. All right, now let's skip to number 4 on page 266. Una earns $266 grooming 14 poodles. Tyler earns $180 grooming 9 poodles. Who earns less per poodle? Explain your reasoning. So we want the amount of money per poodle so that we can easily figure out who makes more money. So poodle is going to be what you want to be 1, so that's going to be your divisor. So when you set it up like a fraction to divide the two quantities, the number of poodles is going to be on the bottom in the denominator. So for number 4, we're going to have because we want it to be the amount of money to set this up. We're going to do the amount of money over the number of poodles. So for Una, we're going to do 266 divided by 14. You can use your calculator for that. That comes out to be 19. So that means that Una makes $19 per poodle. And then for Tyler, we're going to do 180 divided by 9, which we could do that one in our head. That comes out to $20 per poodle. So it looks like Tyler earns more money per poodle? Because he earns $20 per poodle and Una earns $19 per poodle. So answer these questions in complete sentences in your workbook. All right, let's see. Let's do one more. Let's do number 6 on page 267. Perfect. This one they actually give us enough room for. Okay, it says Sana makes 4 sandwiches in 8 minutes. Kelly says Sana's rate is a half a sandwich or 0.5 sandwiches per minute. And Ryan says Sana's rate is 2 sandwiches per minute. Who is correct? They tell you to create 2 tables, but I don't think that's necessary. So we're not creating 2 tables. We're just going to cross that out. Because what we're going to do is we're going to make a unit rate to figure out how many sandwiches per minute Sana makes. So we're trying to figure out sandwiches, number of sandwiches per minute. So that's going to be the number of sandwiches over the number of minutes. And in this situation, she makes 4 sandwiches in 8 minutes, and 4 over 8 is, or 4 divided by 8 is 1/2. 4/8, which is 1/2. So she makes a half of a sandwich per minute, which means that who's right? Let's see. Kelly says Sana's rate is a half a sandwich per minute. So Kelly is right. Kelly is right. Ryan is not. All right, and that's all we're going to do for lesson 18.